Three areas out in the Atlantic basin that we will have to keep our eye on. These two, though, we're not going to pay attention to. It's this one closer to home that really has our attention. And as of the latest update this evening, they have now increased the probability for potential development here to 70% within the next 7 days. That being said, there's nothing there right now. But in the next 7 days, the National Hurricane Center believes that something could form, at least something could likely form, anywhere from the Caribbean getting into the Gulf of Mexico. But as we look at satellite right now, the Gulf of Mexico is totally empty. There is nothing out there, not even a thunderstorm to be found. In the Caribbean, we do see some disturbed weather. Cluster of thunderstorms here just to the south of Jamaica. A couple of showers coming off the Yucatan. Nothing well organized, but all of this activity, this disturbed weather, is a result of what's known as the Central American Gyre. And basically what the Central American Gyre is wind that kind of consolidates from all different directions, and it leads to this circulation in this part of the Caribbean, which can spin up thunderstorms, and occasionally those storms can turn into organized systems. So as we put Future Track into motion, watch what happens now. It's Monday, it's Tuesday, we'll stop the clock here later Tuesday, and we start to get this broad area of spin, this broad circulation developing here in the Western Caribbean, the far northwestern Caribbean. So here's Cuba, this is the Yucatan Peninsula here, and we get this circulation developing. Nothing closed off yet, nothing strong at this point, but watch how fast things develop. Keep an eye on the time up here. It's Tuesday the 24th. By the time we get to Wednesday, now we have a closed area of circulation. The winds are starting to get a bit stronger, and this thing is now beginning to move into the Gulf of Mexico. And from there, we'll stop the clock on Thursday. So now we're only 2 days beyond that circulation forming on Tuesday. Now Thursday, we've got really strong winds developing with this system. It looks very mature. It's more of a closed off, healthy situation. And this is where we will have to keep an eye on how things evolve. Now we're out here in Houston. It looks like right now the models are trying to keep this across the eastern Gulf of Mexico, but a lot of factors at work. We flip over to a different Future Track view of it. This is more of the rain view of what this thing could look like. And again, we get into the start of the week, you start to see the consolidation of those showers and storms there in the Western Caribbean. There's your low that starts to develop here again by Thursday. And remember what I talked about, how that ridge of high pressure starts to move off to the east early this week. That dip in the jet stream may be timed perfectly enough that it takes this developing low and it sweeps it to the northeast. And hopefully, if that does happen, we're left with quiet weather here. Unfortunately, though, there will be some part of the Gulf Coast that deals with a storm as we get towards the end of the upcoming week. Whether it's the Western Gulf or the Eastern Gulf remains to be seen, but that's pretty much where things stand right now. Development is expected this week. That system will move into the Gulf of Mexico. So the final question is, where does it go? Right now, it's likely that it stays to the east, but until an actual system forms, the models aren't going to have a perfect handle on how things evolve. And so until then, we'll have to watch it and keep a very close eye on the situation. Just a reminder, though, that we are pretty much at the peak of hurricane season right now.